So a lot of people ask me this question and I'm finally addressing it. This is going to be one of those videos that's more targeted towards the fans. A lot of people ask me, Specular, why have you never used Feather Client and why aren't you making a video on Feather Client? Now, let me just talk about this real quick, okay? Because a lot of people want to know this and I never addressed it because I never felt like I needed to until now, because I was like, I'm still getting like questions about this, and with all the recent drama coming up with Feather Client, I thought, you know what? If there's any time to make a video on this, it's now, okay? So, might as well. And, oh my god, got that nice little clutch going. Let me break this guy's bed real quick before I continue this commentary. Okay, so basically there's a couple reasons why I will never use Feather Client in my entire life, and the main one is literally just Lunar. It's as straightforward as that. I use a Lunar Client. I enjoy a Lunar Client. I have no reason to use anything besides Lunar Client. Like, I'm literally a Lunar partner. Why would I ever use another client? I don't need to. I have no reason to. And going on to that topic, continuing that, one of the biggest things about the Feather Client that a lot of people have talked about is A, the customizability, and 2, the FPS boost. Those are two of the things that I've noticed people talk about constantly when referring to Feather Client, okay? Especially the FPS boost. Can I just say something? Okay, my FPS is literally fine, okay? Like, what? My FPS is fine. I don't need more FPS. I'm not gonna debate whether Feather Client actually works for FPS or not. That is not up for me to decide. I have not done enough research to actually form an opinion on that. I don't know if Feather Client gives me an FPS boost, and frankly, it doesn't matter because the FPS I get on Lunar is more than good enough already. With that being said, the customizability that I have on Lunar is more than good enough as well. There's just no reason for me to switch to any other client in the first place. I feel like a lot of people have this huge misconception that newer is better, and that like these newer clients are going to be way more advanced than the older clients like Lunar and Badlion, because, well, they're newer, they must have more up-to-date features and this and that, but that's simply not true. Lunar Client isn't one of those things where it's like outdated and like mine is run by a bunch of old heads that don't listen to the community. It's not like that at all. In fact, I think Lunar is probably the best client out there for the community in the first place. Lunar listens to their community more than any other client, in my opinion, and from my experience, Lunar has been extremely good with their fan base. Like, they always keep us updated, they let us know when something isn't working right, and implement bug fixes for problems as soon as possible. Not only that, but for example, when Replay Mod stopped working, they gave us a reason as to why and opened up about the truth and everything, and because of these things, Lunar has built an amazing reputation for themselves and kind of proved themselves to be an S-tier client. And I'm not saying that other clients aren't good. People are allowed to have their own opinions. I'm not here to disprove that. I'm just talking about why would I ever need to use another client if I'm already using an S-tier client? If I'm already using like a client that's literally perfect for me, why would I ever feel the need to use a different one, you know? Like, I don't see any real reason as to like needing it. So okay, you just can't make that jump, I guess. I feel like I have so much freedom with Lunar, and even being a partner, like I feel like it's definitely worth it. I think I get exactly what I deserve as partner. Like, Lunar does an amazing job of giving me so many perks, and I just want to say, this is not sponsored, okay? I'm literally just giving my opinion because a ton of people have been asking me why I don't use Feather, and this is why. Literally, like, I get so many perks. I get unlimited Lunar Plus, which comes with unlimited really cool emotes. I get unlimited Lunar Plus. I get Lunar Cloaks, which, by the way, I just want to say, Lunar has one of the biggest fan bases of any other client, so having a cloak on there is automatically just a huge money-making option. That's like really good for me, especially considering I'm a full-time YouTuber. Like, that's just a great option for me, so it's just a win-win all around. And with Feather Client, I would never get the options I have with Lunar. Now, since I've talked about those couple basic reasons that I just don't need to use Feather Client, let me get a little bit deeper here and talk about the other reasons why my reasoning just gets a little bit stronger, and that is the controversy. There has been a lot of controversy revolving Feather Client, and as a creator, I definitely have to consider those factors. Now, before I get into this, I just want to say one thing. I'm not here to expose Feather Client. I'm not here to talk about what they did or didn't do. I really could care less, and if you guys want to find out like what they may or may not not have done. You can watch the millions of YouTube videos that have all talked about how, like, amazing or terrible FeatherCline is. None of that really matters, okay? None of that matters at all. So, like, I don't know. I'm not here to hate on Feather and give my opinions on, like, the drama that revolves it and whether they deserve to be exposed or not for the things that they may or may not have done. I'm not here for any of that. The thing that matters here is reputation. Now, one thing I have to say is reputation of a company matters so much. If a company has a bad rep, YouTubers, content creators especially, are going to be super unlikely to want to collab with them unless they really are desperate for money or some sort of support, or they have other personal reasons for supporting that company. A lot of creators are going to avoid working with these companies that have built these negative reputations around themselves. Here's what I want to say. You may use the argument, oh well, Specular Potato, just because of specific allegations doesn't mean that Feather is necessarily a bad client or a bad company. They could be a great company, but it's just not fair to judge them like that. But that's the thing. We're not referring to a human. Let's say, for example, I wanted to collab with a YouTuber that used to auto-click a year ago. Now, I'm going to be a lot more likely to collab with this YouTuber, even though they auto-clicked, rather than collabing with a company that has built a negative reputation around themselves. The reason for this is you can see the physical growth when another person makes mistakes and does something you can tell they regret. Like, you can physically see that growth from month to month to month. You can see those actions of a person changing, and you can never see that with a company. You can never see that personal growth because at the end of the day, it is a company. Reputation is everything, and FeatherCline has built a really negative reputation around themselves. I'm not going to talk about what really happened too much, but I know there was a lot of drama with FeatherCline a couple months ago about some sort of code being copied, and recently there's been some sort of controversy, apparently like allegations about them trying to like see people's webcams. I'm pretty sure that some of this stuff got cleared up, but once again, I'm not here to talk about all that. The fact of the matter is that all of these things happened in the first place, and if these things had happened to Lunar, and even just as allegations, not even as like confirmed facts, it would be a huge hit to Lunar, and it matters a lot because these things just, you know, they're not good looks. It just doesn't look good, and it just stands to like be a really uncomfortable situation for the creators that may or may not be partnering with these clients. As creators, we have to consider every possibility. We have to be super careful about who we work with. With that being said, that is kind of like the most deep reason why I would never make a video on FeatherCline besides obviously this one. And with that being said, there is one last reason that I don't feel like I don't know. This isn't a big deal, but this is something that bothered me for a while when Feather first came on the rise, and it was the people asking me to make videos on it. And I'm not just talking about like the fan base. I get the fans want to see like me make a video on Feather before downloading it for themselves and this and that, and a lot of people like listening to my opinions and stuff, so I understand the fan bases wanting me to do that, you know. What I don't understand is why there was so many people that felt like they were in positions of power at FeatherCline DM'd me telling me that they could get me free like beta access and free access to FeatherCline before its official release. This makes me a little bit uncomfortable because the first couple of times I understand it, you know, it's just marketing, but I kept getting asked by people over and over to try FeatherCline, and they kept saying they had like beta codes for me to like use for free, and it didn't make sense to me because I was wondering how all of these people that were randomly DMing me had these codes for me to try out for free, and it made me really uneasy because I'm just over here like, well, but why are a bunch of different people like telling me to try this client? Thought about it some more, and I'm not sure if this was actually from their team or whatever. Like, I'm not sure if this had anything to do with like the actual FeatherCline staff, but I just felt like really pressured to like make a video for them in the first place, and it made me really uneasy, and I don't know, it would make me even less likely to want to make a video for that client in the first place because it wouldn't feel like I was doing it because I wanted to. It would feel like I was doing it because I was pressured to, and I don't want to feel that way, you know. I don't want to do something if I don't want to do it. I want to do something if I'm enjoying it and having a good time. And that's the whole thing with YouTube. I don't want to like make videos on things I don't want to make videos on, and that was one of the like most important things for me. It was making sure I don't do something I don't want to do, and this is even like after like factoring the fact that I would never even make a video in the first place because of the first reason, which is literally just the fact that Lunar is great. Like, it just made me really, really uncomfortable, especially with like all of the people asking me to make videos on Feather. It just, I don't know. I feel like it was a lot of pressure, and I just thought it would be better to do what I wanted to do rather than like feeding into it and just feeling like I have to do something to make everyone happy. And that's why I decided it would be a good idea to make this video rather than making a Feather Client video, because like, if I can just talk about it, you know, if I can just talk about why I didn't need to do it in the first place, I feel like it would have been a lot easier than, you know, ignoring it in the first place. But anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys got some context to the reasons I didn't want to use Feather Client and why I'll never make a video on Feather Client after this. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Please don't send hate to Feather Client or whatever. This is not what that is, okay? If you guys want to watch a Feather Client exposed video, just go on YouTube, okay? It has nothing to do with me. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great day. Peace out. Bye.